What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the very first episode of the Golden Cap. It's going to be a new podcast. Me, Marmaloo, and Dolphin are going to be running once a week, every Sunday at 6, kind of just going over the pre-week before the next week starts for RGL, going into the new season. It's going to be really excited, and we put a lot of work into this. We have a lot of cool ideas that we're going to be implementing. Um, but I'm joined. I have Marmaloo, obviously, and we have Dolphin on production. What you can really expect from this podcast is a little bit of general news going on within the community, mainly from NA, but we're going to try and tap into the EU scene a little bit if anything big over there happens, and potentially have some interviews and answer a lot of viewer questions you guys might have in our Discord.
Yeah. So main thing we're gonna try and do, talk about NATF2, all the events, all the teams, and then EU we're gonna put on the back burner a little bit, but if some big event happens, a grand final, playoffs, we'll probably delve into it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And also, one thing we're really excited for, this is going to happen probably around once every 2 weeks. We're going to have like individual like class player rankings. We're going to try and track stats of players throughout the season and kind of find out who's been performing on their specific role. But other than that, I mean, I'm really excited to be on this podcast. I've always wanted to do something like this going into the season. I know Marmaloo's had his own like little stint of talking TF2 and having his own like little Google's Excel spreadsheets with his stats and teams and everything. So it's cool we have a platform to actually use it on.
Yeah, we upgraded the graphics, so I think we'll get to the current news, what's been happening, touch people up over the offseason. So recently there was the RGL advanced change where they made two divs instead of one to try and spread out the skill. And I think the reason most people were upset is some teams that were at the top of main got moved up to Div 1 where they're more towards the bottom. And then some people who were middle of the pack and advanced is now in the bottom of Div 1. So what do you think about the change? Do you think it's good?
I think it's good. I think it's good just because in the advanced season, typically, a lot of the time, it was like it's just a lot of the top teams kind of just steamrolled through the lower teams. They didn't have a lot of competitive matches throughout the season. I think it's good that they split it up. I just wish that they kind of came to us like an agreement earlier, because I know people are complaining about doing it super early, or like people have already paid money. So like some people from like main got moved up to Div 2, and already had paid their main fees. So I know it just created a little bit of hassle for some of the teams. But overall, I thought it was a good idea. I think it adds more divisions, which is a little bit of a issue, but that can always kind of get fixed in a later season. But I think that's splitting up advanced, because that's probably the hardest division to balance, in my opinion, just because you have a lot of like low invite players or even mid invite players off classing in the top of advanced, and then a lot of new main move up teams who are still like in that low mid advanced, who can't really contest the top level teams who have been in that division for so long. So I personally think it was a great idea to do it. Just maybe have had a week or two to actually release that would have been better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like you said, a lot of times it's just blow half the matches are just blowouts because the bottom advance doesn't stand a chance, and more teams or more split teams is going to allow for a lot more better and more frequent matches. You'll see a lot better performance for everyone, and you'll probably improve a lot more individually. So let's move on to newbie mixes. So if you don't know what newbie mixes are, it's just a thing that's run every Friday at 9 p.m. It takes an hour of your time if you want to coach, and if you want to show up and play, it's a great way to learn and get your competitive career started. So Sam, what's anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, every Friday at 9. I mean, I was a newbie mix coach at one point, but working late nights sometimes, haven't had a lot of time to help them out. But every Friday, if you're a better player, feel free to go over there, help them out, talk to the guys who are trying to get better at TF2. They need people to help mentor teams throughout seasons and also just coach people in new pugs. It's really cool that newbie mixes is still around, since even before I played the game, they were doing newbie mixes. So every Friday, head out there, play some pugs. If you're a new player, if you're a better player, spread your knowledge to the lower level players. Help them out, man.
Yeah, so for those who are worried about not being qualified enough, all you need is to make IM playoffs in RGL. And I think it's go even and open for ESEA if you haven't played RGL yet. But yeah, you think it sounds fun and you want to give it a try, it's only one day. You can bring your friends if you want to do it together, but it should take an hour, and you'll definitely make someone's day and help them out in the future.
For sure, man. But one really cool thing, this is another topic I'm excited to talk about on, is the RGL Pro Mod editions in their new league that they're putting out. The Pro Mod editions. So I'm sure everyone's pretty much already known, but I've always wanted to give my opinion on this on a bigger platform. Having these new mechanics into the game, like the ramp slide fix, the consistent fall damage, the sticky dip bug, fix, all that stuff just makes the game cleaner and more consistent, in my opinion. I don't think you have any problems with that. I think the coolest one, in my opinion, is the crossbow fix, so that when you're like really close to your medic, the crossbows just don't shoot right through them anymore. They actually hit the target now, which is really really cool. Kind of cleans up the game a little bit.
Yeah, so I was kind of iffy on the whole medic speed because there's not enough testing, but definitely the things that fix bugs that are pretty well known, the sticky death, the ramp slide, those are all definitely good, consistent fall damage, and I think it's just an improve of quality of life, and it shouldn't affect gameplay too much in a bad way.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to remember. I know that even before the medic speed buff was a thing, we haven't played with that in 2.5, almost 3 years now since that's been implemented. I think that was put in around season 25 when they put in the scout speed buff, um, or for the medic rather. I think that we need to do a little bit more testing in NA. I know EU's been running a lot of pro mod pugs, so that's cool that they've already kind of got a head start on testing it. But I'm willing to go back to the slow speed, but this season throwing it in there would have been a terrible idea. It would have threw off the game a little too much, especially with all the recent fixes they added. So hopefully, maybe next season, if we get a little bit more testing, and we can actually go back to the old medic speed.
All right, yeah. So there's been a few roster changes. We're just going to touch on existing rosters and stuff like that and how they changed, and then we'll talk more about the new teams, but one of the main roster that changed was Froyo had Cookie Jake leave for real life reasons and replaced him with Skis. Good pickup. And then also during this, at least at the moment, I'm not sure about the roster, but they moved Patty to Pocket, Banny to Roamer, Eric to Pocket Scout, and Yumps to Flank Scout. And all these players can play all these classes at will. Anything you want to say about this, really?
I mean, watching streams and seeing logs, it's having a slow start. I do think that roster could still be top talent in the world. Skis is an incredible medic. He can easily fill the shoes of Cookie Jake. What I'm worried about is having that Banny off of Combo Scout. That's going to be a very impactful player that has a lot of knowledge and main calling experience under his belt, and putting him on the flank is a little bit of a hard decision to make, in my opinion. But it seems like they can make it work. They're still playing great versus Ascent, which is good. But I love to see how they play in their first match coming into this week to see how they really perform with that roster.
Yeah, so like you said, I think just having Banny off of Combo Scout, I remember watching some of the streams and it's just sometimes the comms aren't what he'd normally want, which is usually the right thing, but Combo Scout is the best class for that. You get all the info, you can live, you do all the plays, and it's just going to be a bit rough for maybe a week or two when everyone's getting used to, because 4 people changed their roles and they had 1 new player join, so it's going to probably be a bit rocky for the beginning.
Yeah, it's a whole new team essentially at that point. But one other team that I'm really excited to talk about is the 100B, now renamed to Shie, as it looks like that's their team name on RGL right now. 100B Tomas. They had a couple scouts come in and out of their team, couple big roster changes. They lost bot mode, they lost Jay, they lost 4-4. A lot of, in my opinion, probably their best players all left their team. And having Tomas, one of Prem's best scouts over in Europe, won the division I think 2 or 3 times. Played at some of the Insomnia lands, placed top 3. He played. He's an amazing player. The biggest thing is getting him to show up on time. If he could actually be awake and scrim and practice with his team and show up most nights, they're gonna have a really good opportunity to take third or second still. It's a really good team on paper, having Crypt and Alex, but Tomas is definitely going to be the star player on that team. He's going to have to come up big for that team, and especially show up to the scrims and matches would be a good start since he's over in Europe.
Yeah, that's rough. I actually just found out. I thought it was like 2 in the morning. It's at 5. 5
Yeah,
in the morning are your matches and scrims, which I talked to Yite the other night, and he told me Tomas said he was very confident in being able to show up, and I'd love to see it. Because we've
I would
we've
love to
seen
see it
NA to
too.
EU, but EU to NA's been rough. It
It's
hasn't
tough,
worked out
man.
the past few times, but yeah, I'm hoping he should probably have a seamless transition from his top prem performance. And ping being the only issue, and I've heard it's not even that bad. It's 90. So it's
Yeah,
doable. They lost, yeah, like you were talking about, they lost Show, they lost Jay, they lost Bot Mode, 404, and they have 2 people left from the original roster. But I think they did a really good job scrambling and getting a good team. Like Alex, so far this season, he's looked great.
yeah, he had
Like
a
I've
great
seen
performance on
300 DPM every single night against all teams.
Yeah, he had a really good debut, like not a debut season, but he had a really good season in season 2 of RGL, which is awesome. I'm really hope that he can bring that same consistency he had on Rat Jail over to Shie. So hopefully he can bring that over and help kind of bring him to the upper echelon of invite, hopefully get that breakout in that top 3 performance or maintain that top 3, top 2 performance 100B's kind of been known for. But we have one more team we did want to talk about. They haven't had an article yet. This couple of these core players have had a couple transitions, swapping from team to team, hopping around. Myanimelist is in my opinion one of the biggest threats this season.
Yeah, so their team, they actually got probably an upgrade in every single class from old Mal rosters. They got AIM, great season player, one invite, made playoffs countless amount of times, and he's going to be a great fit on Pocket. They also got Psy and Bear, which Psy's a great player, Bear's a great player, and I think they're all upgrades from the previous roster. And Trips on Roamer now. You know, we've seen it. But it would have been questionable a couple seasons ago, but he's definitely gotten those reps in.
Number one.
Number one.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of their scouts, Kevin Phelps. I mean, Phelps has been a little bit out of the scene for a little bit, but I think he's a very consistent player. I think he's criminally underrated, personally, in my opinion. And Kev, they've both played together. They work well off of each other. Kev, uh, Kev played all right last season. He's kind of always floated around the mid-invite level at scout, and it's good to see him play back on a team with his friends, especially kind of under the main calling of AIM. AIM's a really solid main caller. Um, Ames, he's a great player. I mean, I think this team is going to, like I said, be a huge factor for upsetting either 100B and kind of just dominate the 4th seed. I think personally, they're not going to have much competition on whatever teams are going to be underneath them. But if they can really bring their stuff together, I mean, Cy and Bear playing with Ford Gaming together and being a consistent duo with each other, they have the opportunity to really make some big upsets and big plays together.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen some of the games in the logs, Kev is back. If you know what season 27, Kev, you know what I'm talking about. He's back. Last season, a little bit resident sleeper, but this time he's coming out full force. I think this team overall is great. They got playmaking Kev, solid damage and calling from Psy and AIM, because Psy's gonna get his numbers every game, no
True.
matter what you do. If you try and stop him, you're probably gonna get two piped or something. AIM, great leader, all that. And I think Trip, Phelps, and Bear are going to play really conservative. Maybe not so much Trip. Trip has the reins. He's unleashed. Sandblast had him back a little bit, but he's going. He's doing whatever he wants in the world. And Phelps, Ascent happy cool. All I know is S key. That's all I remember. And Bear, he's been looking great this season. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, they're looking great so far. They're having an amazing preseason so far, and I really hope that they maintain their consistency. Sai is an amazing player. I think Sai is one of the best. He has some of the best kind of fundamentals of a demo man you're looking for. He's always alive. He's always creating pressure. He's always denying high ground. He's always a threat, in my opinion. That's one of the best things you can ask for of a demo man. Someone who's actively doing something at all times in the game, and that's kind of what Sai does, and he does it perfectly. So I'm really happy that Sai's playing great. This whole roster has the potential to make a lot of big things happen. So keep your eye on my anime list. I know me, Marmaloo, on, and we're going to give you all the information you're going to want to know about this team throughout the season.
Yep. So they're my boys, and we're gonna go to the power rankings. We're gonna start from 7, the last place to the first place. So
hmm
I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna put Black Swan here. I think they're a solid team that could probably upset a few teams above them potentially. The only question mark is Jinx. I know he was solid when he played previously, but it's been a couple seasons since I last saw him, so I'm not quite convinced yet. But and as well, I'm not too familiar with Toy Skill, but I've definitely heard great things. They should have solid calls in Exile and Mirror Man, and they have invite caliber players in every single class slot.
I agree with you. I also have Black Swan as my number 7 team. Reason being is just because Midas and Jinx both took a little bit of a hiatus. Um, and to me, they have Ether on Soldier, which that just to me isn't his calling class. Like I always see him as a demo main. Exile is still a great player, and Ether can definitely play Soldier in invite at the lower level caliber. But Jinx and Midas are going to have to come up big. The best player on this team is by going to be Mirror Man. He's going to have to be kind of the player that makes the most impact and kind of opens up his team. I don't know if he's playing pocket or roamer. If he's on pocket, he's definitely going to have to be kind of like the mastermind behind the team and really lead his team to victory, in my humble opinion. I think Mirror Man has it. He's played playoffs before multiple times. He's the best player on the team. It's all eyes on him going to be going into the season for Black Swan.
For the things I saw, he was playing pocket. So, yeah, you can take it from
Cool.
here.
Cool. My number 6 team is another team I'm going to keep an eye out this entire season. I have a lot to talk about this team. Number 6, Team Avatar, Tambo's team. They got Caps and Animus on Scout, Tambo Dingo on Soldier, Logan on Demo, and Howard on Medic. Tambo and Dingo have been around a while. It's pretty much just Tambo and Dingo, kind of older players. They've been around a little bit. Tambo's had a couple brief stints in Invite, playing on Glove World and a couple teams back in the day. They have the potential to kind of lead these new gen players to the next level to try and maybe sneak up to that 5th seed or maybe try to beat out the next team that we have ranked up top. But
Playoff time.
yeah, I want to see them play throughout the season, but they have a ton of potential.
Yeah, so without seeing the results, I'm also putting Team Avatar. I'm really high on this team. I could see them making playoffs if they'd pull it off. They have great individual players, some of the best up and coming DM players, up and coming in some sense for some of them, but
Caps, yeah.
their scouts are insane. Animus is great. Caps is just a solid, great combo scout. All that. You know, Tambo and Trip, Tambo and Dingo. Oh, Tambo and Dingo, that's it, yeah. They have great experience, and I think overall they got some good calling. There's going to be a little bit of a void because of the lack of experience, but yeah, Logan was great last season. Howard's also really good mechanically. I just want to see how they can get their calling situation together and how well they can work together in the end.
Yeah, one more thing. I think one thing that this team needs is going to be Caps. Caps is going to need to come up big for this team if they really want to clinch out some heavy rounds for this team. Since they, like you said, were lacking some of that experience, Caps is going to have to come up big as the main caller, in my opinion. They're going to need that scout who can make those fast calls and those great decisions to make the team make the next move reliably and correctly. And Caps being a little bit newer to the invite scene at the level that this team is trying to play at. He could do it. He's just going to really have to put a ton of time into improving and getting better.
Yep. So the next team I have on my list is the Microwave, formerly known as Velocity, Space Pirates, all those teams. And I'm putting them here. They've played together many times. This is an exact identical roster of Space Pirates. They have tons of playoff players. And overall, I think they're in a similar situation that Team Avatar is, but they have way more experience and they're more proven. I think Team Avatar maybe have the edge mechanically, individually, with all the aim and all that, but this team's definitely proven and can't sleep on them.
Yeah, Microwave's going to definitely be a team you can't sleep on. They've always kind of been around that 5th seed team, just shy of playoffs, depending on what teams are playing. And I'm really excited to see what the Microwave can do, and that's why I also have them at my 5th place seed team as well for the preseason. Um, I just think that this team, this core of players, they've played together for so long, and I never thought that they found that next level that this team could have. I really wish that this season they kind of unlock their shoulders, allow Hayes and Rakuso to really take this team by charge, make most of space, make most of plays on mids and team fights as well. Chunky as well is going to be a player. Chunky is on the come up. He is a player that is due for playoffs, and he's not looking to lose it this season because they have potential to make it with the 4th seed team. At least the 4th seed team, I'm going to say. But Shamu and Sky have tons of synergy with each other, as does Hayes. That entire combo has played with each other forever. I mean, it's going to be great seeing how they perform this season. I just think that they're missing that one star player. Like, to me, when I look at the mic, if they don't have that one insane impact player, and it might be Chunky. Chunky could be that player. It all comes down to how this team's going to play this season, and if Chunky's going to be able to enable himself and his team.
I'm just saying Rakuso's looked insane in the past. Somewhat not as much recently, but I've definitely seen prime Rakuso popping off and just hitting those shots, doing some weird things, but he does pull it off very well. So next team that I have is Shie. You know, maybe a bit weird. They got second last season, but like we said, they have two people from last season. They had a lot of roster shakeups. They lost all their key players. 4-4J, bot mode, showstopper, and they got replacements. Like we said earlier, Tomas, Crypt, Alex, Dylan. I think overall they got a bit worse, but Tomas is a big pickup from the dire situation when they had no combo scout for a couple days before the season started. And they really brought it back together, and I think with Alex playing as well he is and Tomas hopefully being able to help Dylan learn medic a bit more, they can definitely make playoffs and maybe make a splash, get second or third.
Yeah, I also have Ashi in fourth. I mean, it seems like we have a pretty good idea of which teams are going to place where. I mean, I think this is going to come down to Tomas and Alex. I mean, this team lost their best players. They lost Jay, they lost bot mode, and they lost 4-4. 4-4 is one of the best medics last season. Bot mode was one of the best demos, and Jay was one of the best scouts. That all those players are second place caliber teams, but losing all of those, they lost their main callers. They lost their medic, who was one of the best mechanically and like most knowledgeable medics in the game at the time in NA, and they lost all that. It was a pretty catastrophic reform. I think that this could go either way for Microwave or Team Avatar. To be completely honest, this could change up drastically. Tomas is going to have to come up huge, as is Alex. Alex is playing great in the preseason so far, but if this team can't get back on their feet to what they were originally, they're going to struggle towards the later half of the season if they don't if Tomas can't help them out or Alex can't take them out of bad situations. But hopefully they can fix it up towards the later half of the season, though.
I completely agree with everything you said. I think 4-4 was one of the best, if not the best medic last season, and I think the big step down is going to be Dylan. He hasn't had too much experience so far, and he's got some big shoes to fill in 404. And if anyone can help him, I think Tomas is probably going to have a pretty good idea what's going on.
Yeah, Tomas also know. I mean, Tomas played top prem for multiple seasons. It's just like when you look at the head-to-head roster from this season versus last season, it's a huge difference, man. Like you got to take that into account. Like Yait's a great player, Ash is a great player, and all, but to me, they weren't the hard carries of the team and weren't the star players of the team last season. Those were Jay and bot mode, and you lost them. Obviously, bot mode moving to Ascent and Jay kind of just disappearing. I believe he's playing somewhere in advanced as medic, so good for him finding his new calling. But that's all I pretty much got to say about them.
Yeah. So you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I got three. I'm giving it to myanimelist, man. I'm really excited to see this team. They got the boys over a couple of my favorite players I've ever played with, Bear and Sai. A couple of the guys at Ford Gaming, Trip as well, Aim, Kev, Phelps. I mean, they got a core of players, and they also have an incredible medic and an incredible demo. Like this team has the synergy that they've always had, and they have the new blood of the best players of their last team. I mean, Sai's incredible. I think Sai has the potential to easily be a top 2 demo in this division as long as this team is willing to put in the grind. They're going to demo review and they practice every night. This team knows what everyone's doing at the same time, and that's what you need from a team. This is what's going to have this team be the breakout from Ashi, the Microwave, the team or a Team Avatar. That's what's going to be the biggest difference maker, since there's so much chemistry and time played with all these players throughout the entire season. This is why I think they're going to get third, strictly just because they're more structured than everyone already.
Yeah, they've been looking great in scrims. They've taken maps off Froyo, albeit may have been a fluke in some senses, but you can't take that completely away. They've definitely been doing great. They've gotten upgrades at every class. They improved their calling, and I have faith in my boys breaking the curse and making playoffs, not being stuck in 6th place purgatory.
Every time whenever I played against Mal or watched the season with Mal, they never made playoffs. They always hit that 6th place, maybe 5th place area. But I'm really hoping that this season, Trip's gone a lot better, Kev's gone a lot better. Now they have Sai, and now they have Bear. They have such better talent on their team from what they had originally. I'm super excited to see how this team plays, and we're definitely gonna be watching their matches this week to see how they perform.
All right, I'll take this one. You know what? We're getting off the sleeper train. We're putting Froyo Tech at second. I got faith in Ascent. And this new change, I'm not too sure about it so far. They made some roster changes, but they've proven people wrong so many times before. You can't be too sure about it. But they have one of the most dynamic rosters in Invite history, you could say. They could switch any of these players, and eventually I believe they could get to this tippy top level very quickly. One of the things that I'm, kind of upset about is I think Skis, a lot of his value is in like a calling role where he can try and tell people what to do, give some advice. But on this team, he's taken more of a back seat as most Froyo medics, where you're mainly there to keep track of Ubers, make sure you stay alive, and just, listen well and play as a good team play medic. So, any opinions? Oh, actually, you say you're second. We don't have the same for once. I forgot.
Yeah, this is where I switch. I'm gonna give it to Ascent in second. Reason being because here's why. Froyo Tech is a huge legacy team. They've been around forever. They've made roster swaps, then they've made it work. Froyo just has levels of players and talent that are just really, really good. And taking into account for the preseason, it's Froyo Tech in preseason. I just think that they're gonna play as good as they did last season. Do I think Ascent can overtake Froyo Tech? Absolutely. I think Froyo Tech could easily fall. This is arguably one of the weirder and not the best Froyo iterations I've ever seen, because having Banny all for that strong calling role, having him on a flank class, especially on Soldier of all classes, he could still have impact, but not nearly as much as he used to have. And the reason why I'm nervous is because if you look at the head-to-head per roster, Ascent got Slam, Bot Mode, Laz, High Five, uh, Campy and Lolga. Yeah, I believe that's their roster. And Froyo has the Yamps Eric, I believe, and then Banny and Patty, Habib, and Skis. So, what do you think of the head-to-head there?
Yeah, so I think, honestly, I'm going to go more into Froyo right now because I didn't touch on him as much as I wanted, but I think people forgot how good Yomps was at Flank Scout when he played it, because it's been a while. It's been a very long time since we've really seen the Yomps Flank Scout, and he was considered to be the best, the top, the ideal Flank Scout, and he's back, which you love to see. Eric, great scout, and I think he'll be able to seamlessly fit into the combo scout. Maybe not do all that Banny did, because he did everything on Combo Scout, and that's going to be a big hole left in the calling. But to fill that void, Patty's bringing back the shotgun, bringing everything back, and we get to see how Patty runs this team. And Banny on Roamer, he'll definitely show some new stuff that people don't know. And although he may have high ping, he'll make it work. And like I said, Habib still the best demo. We're not changing that yet until we see more things from Campy.
Close.
And yeah,
I mean, Campy is still an incredible player. I think Campy has some top world talent inside of him. I can't wait to see him play on LAN. I'm mainly just concerned to see the scout matchup. I'm not too concerned about the soldiers on each team or the demos. I think they're all quite close. I'm worried that Slem and Bomb Mode might overrun Yomps and Eric. Bomb Mode is one player that has the potential to be an incredible flank scout. He's done it before, but playing against Yomps and Eric is a completely different animal on scout, and it's insane to play against those two players, especially on the same team for once. And also, Slem is just, in my opinion, one of the world's best scouts. Slem's ability to aim, his movement is incredible. If the kid doesn't miss, man. I mean, I'm excited to see how the Ascent Froyo head-to-head is going to go this season. It's going to be a lot closer than it was last season's.
bit of breaking news from Banny, but we'll wait.
Ooh.
But so I'm going to go on Ascent. You touched on him a bit. You're right. Their team's kind of cracked out. I was talking about Team Avatar being cracked out, but this team is Slem. Just DM on DM. He doesn't miss. He's going to take the beam and he's going to run straight into you. Next thing, bot mode. I think bot mode's really good. He's going to fill the holes. He's going to go behind, make plays. He's got that game knowledge, all that experience.
He's a genius, man.
He's going to go behind, back cap, get some med picks, all that. Laz, everyone knows what Laz does. Laz jumps. Man. He just jumps around and flies like a genie. I've seen him get out of so many stupid situations that no one else would. And then he just hits a direct. Two rockets a med. All that. High five. Great player. He's played every class in Invite so far, but med. Next season, high five medic. waiting for it. But
I
yeah,
can't
he
wait.
definitely can play pocket. He's played it before long ago on EVL. And
Yeah.
Campy, Zaylor, looked
God.
great. Great. He is, I think he could definitely take that best demo role from Habib. So Habib, you better watch out. Campy's coming. Even though he's got that high ping, maybe if land does happen, he will unleash. And lastly, Lolguy. I think Lolguy will be one of the biggest surprises this season because Lolguy's kind of been on the down low, not on too many good teams where you'd watch a lot of matches, but all I know is that Lolguy's got the moves.
You're all gonna have to wait and see, man. Just wait and see with Law Guy. Law Guy he's incredible at medic. How good he's gotten is incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of power rankings, I mean, anything you want to gloss over real quick? Anything we should talk about that we may have skipped out on?
I think what I want to say is the two teams that I think are completely confirmed for playoffs is obviously Mal and Ascent. Do you have an opinion that other teams that are 100% you are confident are making playoffs?
I mean, besides Froyo Tech?
Froyo Tech and Ascent. That's what I said. Any
Oh, I thought you
other
said
teams you
Mal.
think? No, not Mal. I could see
Oh,
Mal blowing it up, 6th place again.
yeah, it's possible. I mean, for me personally, I would like to see my anime list, and honestly, I'm willing to see it. I'm willing to see the microwave, man. I mean, if this Ashi roster, man. I mean, I know Alex and Tomas are gods, but they lost so much, man. They lost so much. I want to know if they're gonna be able to bounce back. I mean, it's crazy. I want to see if they're able to really just pull it all together and take that 4th place seed for once, because this team has the potential, and all she is in prime position to really blow up to 5th place. It's totally possible with the amount of talent they lost. They're all great players, but the core, these players have never really played with each other before. That's where I'm excited to watch it all happen.
Yeah, so for all these teams, I'm not really convinced on anybody but those two teams. I could see any of these others potentially, if the games go their way, they get the right maps. I could see even Black Swan making playoffs if some other mistakes happen in the other teams and they really step it up. They somehow get some stuff flowing. Jinx comes back, drops a 40 burger every game. Hey, it can happen.
Just be goaded. Just drop a 40 bomb every game.
But yeah, I'm pretty convinced that Mal should, I hope I don't jinx it, they should make playoffs, not get 6th. And my dark horse for this season
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this.
is Team Avatar.
Yes, sir.
If they can put all the pieces together, they got all the pieces they could possibly want for this playoff puzzle. But if they can fit them all right into each other, they're making it. I believe.
Dude, like I said, this team is literally full of up and coming players. Like, even if you look at their looking again, this is all preseason stuff. So me and Marmal, at least I did. I looked at some logs. I was seeing how this team's playing. They're playing good, man. Against these higher level teams, like they're not getting blown out by Mao or Ashi. Like, they're not getting rolled. Like, they have the potential to do it. They just need to make sure that this team can play as good as they are expecting to play. I mean, like I said, Caps is going to have to come up big as the main caller. They're going to need their soldiers to have an incredible duo. Tambo and Dingo are the veterans on this team. They need to be able to lead their team to victory. Animus is just an enigma. He could be the next scuffed Yams. I know we had the same meme about Phone a couple seasons ago. He could be the next big thing in Invite.
No, Animus, I'm taking this. Animus is scuffed Yomps. Caps is scuffed Corsa. We've moved the brand. It's no longer shiny and Phone. It's Animus and Caps.
Damn. That's crazy.
Corsa leaves, a new one rises. It's like a phoenix. And my power rankings was at least based off of right now. Right now, if we were to play in playoffs, I think this is how it would end. But let's start getting into the predictions for this next week. We're gonna skim through the not as close matches that we thought of. So first one that I put was Ascent versus Band Daffodil. What do you think this is gonna end up being?
I mean, Ascent versus Band Daffodil. I know Band Daffodil.
That team may not happen. I forgot about that.
True. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, I have that written down. Let me remember. No, you're good. I mean, if you want, I have TBD or All She versus Avatar. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So this is one of the dark horse teams versus a team that lost a lot of their talent. So this is what I'm excited to watch. This isn't one of the main important matches, but this is a team of up and comers versus a kind of a new team in Invite, which I'm excited to see. I still think Aushi's going to take it, but I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to get rolled. I think it's going to be a 5-3 for Aushi. I think that Tomas, Alex, Yite, Ash, they just have the core talent of players that makes a good team. Crypt as well. Dylan's going to be the player that needs to make sure he's playing as good as other top four medics, as this team should make playoffs, as you saw in the power rankings we just did. But 5-3 for Ashi seems realistic, but it could go both ways, like I said. But Avatar's going to need to come up big. Their scouts are going to have to come up big. And Logan's going to have to really shut down Alex and really just pretty much say, I'm the better demo at that point.
Yeah, so I think this match, I'm saying 5-2 to Ashi. You know, I was talking up Team Avatar, but I think it's too early. Ashi, they got that experience, that veteran leadership, and Alex is popping off. I think this match will end up being faster paced. Ashi a lot of times takes more aggressive fights, maybe some dry fights, but after losing some of their callers, their playstyle may shift to maybe slower, maybe more conservative, all that. And I think this match is going to depend on how well Team Avatar can keep Alex.exe under control, because I looked at a couple logs in three scrims in a row. They got 5-0 rolled, and Alex dropped 350 DPM. He dropped a perfect game, 12-0 one game, and just absolutely rolled over him. I was talking to him, and they said Alex put him in a box. And if they want to win, they're going to have their soldiers maybe pressure him a bit more. Maybe Animus gets behind, get him on the side, all that. And yeah, depending on the map, I think the impact of the classes may change, but I think Team Avatar honestly matches up or exceeds mechanically very well.
Agreed.
And the main thing that's going to matter is how well they can put it together. Like I said before, puzzle pieces together, full puzzle picture, playoff performance.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, each team has a new medic. Howard on Team Avatar and Austria having Dylan. So it's really, like I said, the medic head to head is pretty much even. And if Caps and Animus are playing great that game, it could really go either way, man. Like I said, a Team Avatar is a team who could turn a lot of heads. I wish this match happened maybe week 3, but it's happening week 1, unfortunately. So it's just a Team Avatar's gonna have to adapt a little bit quicker than they should.
Yeah, so I would love to see a Koth map. There's 3 Koth maps now. I'd absolutely love to see how this would end up on a Koth map with the scouts of Team Avatar just running around. I could see them getting an upset, you know, maybe especially on a Koth map, but we'll see how the pick ban goes. And
It'll be for sure a Koth map if they can make a Koth.
I'd hope it would be, unless they're
Yeah,
confident on another 5C but CP, but they
that's the
didn't look
upset.
too good.
That's the upset game mode.
Hey, that's why I want to see more Koth maps. Upset game mode. It's not just a one-off map anymore. There are 3. If you want to use all 3 bans on it, go ahead, but you may have to play a map you don't like if you do.
For sure. But next match I have here, unless you want one, I have 2 more lined up.
Yep. I think I want to just run through the other matches just quickly. You don't have to have anything.
Yeah.
But the microwave versus Dexter's lab. I said it was going to be a 4-2 for the microwave. Let's just skim through. What do you think? That's about realistic.
I think it's gonna go to time. I think it'll probably be like a 4-2, 4-1 for microwave as well. Just quick off the top of my head. Again, core team, been together forever. Players who haven't played the game coming back to play invite. They're just not gonna have what it takes to keep up with microwave. Chunky's gonna lock them out. Shamu's gonna lock them out. Rakusa's gonna do flank stuff. It's gonna be tough for Black Swan.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be
Black Swan.
super slow. From hearing how Dexter's lab plays, I heard they play really slow, really methodical. In the microwave, at least from what I've known, they really like that sniper. Before they've had Boar, they've had Pete, all those players where they're just like
They're
all
the
right.
off-class team.
But now I scrimmed against a couple times. Phone loves that sniper class. He loves that comma 8. Favorite thing in the world. And that Rakusa one man, eventually it should work. So I think it's going to be really slow. And Microwave, I think, is going to grind it out, especially with Chunky to roll over those mids.
For sure.
Next match, that is a little bit lower on the tone pole. Mal versus Froyo Tech. What do you think that's going to be? Just
I mean, I think Habib's gonna come back. I mean, obviously Habib was going through a little bit of stuff and was still playing in his scrims, but I think it'll be 5-1 for Froyo. Uh, Even with the new roster, Froyo again just has a level of talent and main calling ability that Mal's gonna lack, and also just individual talent. Froyo's been around for years now. I don't think it'd be a surprise if they lost this. There's a chance Mal could win if they're playing out of their minds, but I don't think Khabib's gonna be going 5-22 anymore when it comes match time.
yeah. So Mal versus Froyo. I said 5-2 for Froyo Tech. Once again, I'm gonna go with the good old reliable. If you're not sure what team's gonna win ever, whatever team is Banny, you should probably take if you don't know what's happening. But yeah, I don't think there should be much of a surprise unless there's underperformance from Froyo or Kev toggles. If Kev toggles, they could win. I believe.
I
But
need season
honestly,
27, Kev.
I could see them maybe taking this win otherwise if they really get it together.
It's
But yeah,
possible, man. It's for
I'm
sure
saying
possible. Cool.
So
One
I'm just
more.
gonna keep going through these
Yeah,
lower
you
two.
got. You
I don't
already
think
got
you
the
have them written
list up.
down because I
I know.
wanted
Yeah.
to do this. But yeah. So Dexter Lab versus Ashi. I put 5-1 for Ashi.
I can agree.
Yep. Just same things we said before, and Ashi's very proven. Maybe not with this exact roster, but yeah. So next one, the last one of these lower tier matches. No offense, but Daffodil. Never mind, that team's gone. We're moving on to the money matches. I completely forgot. Team Avatar versus Mal. My favorite team's in invite right now. Take it away, Sandblast.
So these are the two teams that me and Marlon are most excited to watch. Avatar's, the team of up and comers. Mal's the dark horse team. Both of these teams have the potential to take games off of each other. But this is a match I would like to commentate. And if I had to give a prediction for these two teams, I'm going to give it to Mal 5-2. Mal's going to take the dub. It's not going to be easy for him. Avatar's not going to let up. You might see a first half. You might see teams get a little angry at each other. It might be a 2-2 at the half. Avatar could even go up in the half. But once Mal really gets the game going in their favor and Psy Guy starts getting warmed up, playing the game, Kev's, he's hitting the key a little bit harder than he should, and Phelps is not missing, and Bears staying alive. This team's just going to slowly roll over them towards the later half of the game.
I don't know what key you're talking about, but I agree. I said
Toggle key, man.
5-2. Hey, you're not supposed to say it. We're gonna point towards it, not at it. But 5-2 for Mal is what I said. I got faith in the boys. Right now, this is another match I wish I saw a little bit later. We're gonna see it again around week 4, week 5. But yeah, I'm taking the boys. The boys in blue. I think that's what the background is. But yeah, so if you were to see this match a couple weeks ago before seeing these teams play, I'd probably say it'd be a bit closer and it'd be a bit more up in the air. Maybe a little bit if you have a bit of respect for the Team Avatar players, but Mal's been looking really, really good in this preseason. And
they're the best team in the preseason right now, in my opinion. Obviously, including
take
Froyo
it down
Froyo,
take it down.
obviously, besides Froyo and Ascent, but in terms of where they placed in the power rankings, they've been playing the best in preseason out of the teams below them.
Yeah, and then Team Avatar so far, they've been really up and down in the logs I looked at. Like I said, got 5-0 times in one night, maybe just an off night, but they've taken games off teams that you'd think would be better. They've lost against teams that you think be worse. And yeah, I think the main factor of how this match will go is how well the scouts of Team Avatar can keep trip and aim under control and make sure Kev stays in front of them. You don't want Kev behind you, because that's where he thrives. If you can get that 1v1 where all he has to do is just shoot you in the meat twice, bad word choice, but hit you for max damage twice, 2 100s. But yeah, this is probably one of my best favorite matchups this season. Two of my favorite teams, and I hope it's a close one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna give it 5-2 for Mal. But we got one more match lined up. This is the money match. This is
the big match.
This is the biggest match of the week. We're already seeing it. I'm excited. You're gonna see me and Marmaloo casting it on whatever day it happens. Froyo Tech versus Ascent going in week 1, happening this early. You say your prediction first. I want to hold
You'll
mine
love to
off.
see it. You know, I have to stay true with my power rankings. I'm saying 5-4 Ascent. I believe in the boys this early. I think they can pull it off very well. Froyo, big changes in the roster, and so far the new Ascent roster has really dealt with other playoff teams just really easily, somewhat easily. Sometimes there may be some differences, but they've taken maps off Froyo. They've traded maps. I've seen so many ties. I think I watched a night of scrims where literally every match was a tie. But yeah, what do you think is going to be the result here?
So for you, Ascent, man, I'm in the same boat. Ascent's taking it 5-3, man. They're taking it 5-3. It's so early in the season. This Ascent roster has players on it who've always been playing with each other. Slemnish has been so good at the game. If Froyo Tech does roll with this roster, the same roster they've been scrimming with in the preseason into this match, Froyo's gonna lose, man. It's gonna be 5-3 for Ascent. Campy's insane. I mean, Phelps or not? I'm sorry, forgive me. Slemnish and Bot Mode is an incredible duo. Bot Mode is one of the best flank players in NA, in my opinion, right now. They are so ready to beat Ascent if Ascent's ready to beat Froyo if they start out this early. So I think that if Froyo doesn't get back on their toes or find a roster that really really merges well with each other, Ascent's gonna take it. It's not gonna be close, or I'm sorry, it is gonna be close rather. It's not gonna be convincing. It's gonna be a 5-3 close game. It's going to go to time. It's going to be a rough game, man. And I can't wait to watch this match live. It's going to be so good. Slemnish is the best second place player. He's due for a first place victory, and this could be his season.
I don't know if we're taking that from Corsa yet. I'm kidding.
You think
Slemnish is really good, but if Froyo did switch the roster back, maybe I would have changed a couple of the numbers, maybe 5-4 the other way, 5-3 the other way, power rankings, but this is all the information I had at the moment, and I think this match main focus of how it's going to go down is how Ascent can handle Habib. That's always the question. If you want to beat Froyo, you can't let Habib drop 400 DPM in like 40 and 10. Like that can't happen. That can never happen, but you can't let Habib get what they want Habib to do. But I think this is one of the times where one of the demos matches up really comparably to about as much DM as Habib has. Campy or Zayler and Habib, they're both contending for the best DM on demo. In NA, at least. I don't know about you, but for NA.
Oh, for sure. Campy is incredible. I think Campy is one of the best demos coming into this season and has the potential to, like you said, dethrone Habib of the best demo in NA status. But Habib, in my opinion, is the best demo who's ever played the game. Campy has a lot of work to do to shut him down, but right now, Ascent's just more organized. It feels like they have a really good idea of how they're going to handle Froyo Tech, and as long as they take it into this season, they're gonna have a great time, man. It's happening so early, it could go both ways, but I think Ascent's gonna come out on top.
All right, yeah. So one of the things I thought that Ascent should try and do is, with previous rosters, they should try and make the fight scrappy, where Slem, Laz, and Campy can just DM out, just chill, hit all their shots, and just get enough space for bot mode maybe to slip behind, make a little play, maybe high five to wreak some havoc, jump in, get a little bit of crazy air shots, hit a speed shot, one or two. And I'm saying this, I'm putting this online. I think Lol Guy will perform better than Skis statistically. At least statistically.
I
Lol
can
Guy
agree.
plays really passive a lot of times and plays their life, which is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all, but Skis, sometimes a bit more aggro, a bit more active, trying to get those heals out to the front line like a battle nurse,
Yeah, he's willing to die with the team. Skis. But Lol Guy's been played up to be one of the best medics this season, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a huge following after this season of people thinking he's just one of the best medics in NA, if not the world, depending on how good he plays. But he has some of the potential to really turn heads, especially if they can take this match off Froyo this early in the season. It'll be big.
Okay, if Skis is actually playing demo, I know there's memes, but this is a 5-0 for Froyo if Caesar's on demo. That's all I'm saying.
True.
But yeah, so I think
True.
the matchup to watch, no matter the map, is going to be Campy Habib. Whoever plays better, I think, will probably win. Not
Mhm.
100%, but I could definitely see it. And if Habib, I hope he's feeling better. Back to himself. I think he can pull off a regular performance. I hope he can, and I hope it's a great match on this week.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully everyone in Twitch chat agrees with us. If you guys don't, we have a Discord you guys can join and talk about the matches coming up. Give your guys' opinions there. But other than that, I think we covered most of the census on the matches. Do you have anything else you want to talk about on the money match happening this week?
No, but stay tuned on TF2 RGL. Join the Discord if you want to see some updates. But I think we're gonna get some Q&A. So we made a Discord, and if you have any questions, please join. Post any questions you got. We're gonna read at least 3 of them on each podcast. Maybe a few, maybe a bit less, a few more, a few less, depending on time. But we got some time, so I'm gonna read the first one out. It is from Skis. It is he asked, what team do you think has the most potential to improve over the course of the season? Sam, let's take it away.
Like I said, we already kind of hinted at the answer to this before. Team Avatar, man. Team full of up and comers. It's too early in the season to call if they're going to really be a threat. But I think as the season develops and Caps and Animus find their comfort in their roles and they're playing throughout the season against better teams, Tambo and Dingo help their team grow and become more knowledgeable. Logan adapts to his role. Howard's going to learn more mechanically and learn more game sense, where to stand, when to milk, when to pop. This team's honestly, the sky's the limit with this team. They can really go anywhere at this point. As long like this could be one of the best low mid invite debut teams we've seen in a very long time, just with how they're playing and the players that they have on it.
Yep, like Sam West said, I've said it so much. Big fan of this team. They actually asked me to watch a demo. At some point, I'm still waiting. If you're watching this, I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you guys are. But I think they're the most promising young team, individual. Maybe not young, but they got the most promising individual players that I haven't really seen too much success. Animus, Caps, Howard, Logan, Tambo. I believe they can all probably pull it out. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see some good matches.
For sure. Next question. Another one of our Discord users. We have Zara. Hopefully he's in chat watching. His question is, both of y'all have been playing TF2 for years. Are there any real life lessons you've learned from your time in TF2? Mama, you can take this one.
Yeah, so I've learned recently, don't do things to make other people happy. Make sure you're having fun, make sure you're happy with what you're doing. And, just be yourself. Otherwise, if you're not having fun with what you're doing, no one's going to have fun. For example, last season with Sandblast, I was like, you know what? I don't really want to go to LAN. And I made a night hell. He knows it. I know it. And after that, it was online, got over a little bit, but I should have thought a bit more about committing to that during school. But, definitely take some time to yourself. Don't jump the gun if you need to. And make sure to, take your time.
Yeah, too much TF2 can be a bad thing sometimes, man. Sometimes you got to space yourself out. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, especially for yourself. But one question for me, it's probably definitely being on time, and also how it affects us. Being a leader for a lot of seasons, collecting scrims, playing against certain teams. If you're not on time with your team, or it kind of reflects into real life as well. If you're not on time to like an interview or if like to work one day, you're hurting other people. You're not affecting yourself. You're affecting 11 other people. You're affecting the 5 others on your team and the 6 others on your team, or on the other team rather. You not being there, they have to get a ringer. It's going to ruin the experience of scrims. At least stay on time. At least let people know in advance you can't make scrims. Not just showing up, being on time, being formal and professional when you're on the team. In terms of showing up and playing is important, and all correlates to a real life job. You got to show up on time, play for the team, and just make sure you're never late and you have full transparency of what you're doing if you're not going to be able to show up on time.
And it translated Sandblast on that 9 to 5 grind. But yeah, make sure you're on time, because the more you do it, the less likely people are going to want to scrim you, especially when there's 2 separate scrims a night, 2 teams, and you're late by 15, 30 minutes every night. It's like, let's not scrim them.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
so one of the last questions we're going to do, if we have time, we'll read one more. But from Logan, he said, the thoughts on the current state of invite. I'll let you take this away.
I mean, there's as of right now, there's only 7 teams. There's our talks that we've said the name a couple times of the band Daffodil team has a chance to come back and potentially with with another roster, which would be cool. But a 7 team invite, it's interesting. I don't think I've seen 7 teams before, but the talent is just there's more talent than there's ever been. There's no guaranteed bottom seed of invite. Obviously, we ranked Black Swan to be bottom in preseason, but someone has to be bottom seed. There's a chance that they could come back and pull 6th or 5th seed from the Microwave or Team Avatar, but there's also a chance that Froyo Tech could lose. Like, there's so many things that are happening this season. It's honestly one of the coolest seasons of invite since around the era of, I think, when LAN got announced again. I think last season was a really cool season as well. There was a lot of ups and downs for my own team, Ford Gaming. We had a lot of ups and downs. I believe you had Hunter B as well, was a really cool team. I mean, you also had a lot of lower level talent. There was a huge playoff race between 3 teams, and you're going to see the same thing here. That's what I like to look for, is a playoff race between at least 3 teams. And honestly, you have that with 3 teams again, with Team Avatar, with 100B, and Microwave are the teams that are a little bit shaky on their playoff entrances right now.
Yeah, so I think one of the best seasons in recent history that kind of it looked really good from getting was season 29, the one with that Swift team, the Froyo Black, the Froyo team. That was really good. But I think so far this season's looking pretty good. I think it's great when you can say, I don't think any of these teams could just outright miss playoffs. Like, I could see any of the teams besides Froyo Ascent, barring them, I could see someone dropping down, going up, like Black Swan. I think if everything goes right, they can make playoffs. And I hope I'm talking to Perfection Alexandros because you guys are the last guys on the left on the roster. Please get a team together. You know, there's enough people. It's going to be a bit rough. If you can't, whatever. But, you know, it'd be really nice to see a solid 8 teams so we can have a clean 7-week season. Everyone plays each other twice. It'll be great. More matches, the better for everyone involved.
For sure, man. I mean, I'm willing to do one more question. Do you want to take it to one more? Or you want to just start closing it out, man?
You know what? I think this is a good one to wrap it up with, you know. So, last one came from May Santello, you know. Shout out May Santello. But the question was, what's a common misconception when it comes to getting better? And I said, you don't really need, there's a misconception that you need to be in like a solid group of people or a team to really climb the ranks, but I really don't think so. I don't think you need that. I'm an example of that. You don't need to, as long as you show that you have the will to improve, to grind, you put in the work, you show that you're trying, and you just try and be a positive influence, learn to call, learn to do all that. Put the time in. I think you can get your name out there and eventually make it to invite if that is your goal.
Yeah. I mean, one misconception for me is, especially playing Scout, I see a lot of Scout mains just only practicing DM. You know, there's so much more to Scout than just running around with a scatter gun and shooting things. I mean, and that's the biggest misconception. DM is important. TF2 at the end of the day is you're shooting the player in front of you to get a kill. But there's other ways you can set up your team to get kills as a scout player. And I think for all the scout mains out there, I know I don't have the best DM in invite. I'm not close to having the best DM, but I think I have good DM. But it's not all about playing new bots or playing Kovacs or playing pugs and grinding scout intelligence. You also have to grind your brain, man. Think about what you can do as scout, the impact that role has on a team. It goes a lot further than you think, man. I wish players would just think more mechanically, or kind of think more in their mind than mechanically, rather. It's not all about movement and shooting. It helps out a lot if you can master it, but like, I mean, I would like to see more scouts practice the game rather than just their DM.
All right, taking off what you said, I think movement is so big.
Hmm.
If you want to point at one player where their movement, if you took it away, they'd be so much less effective. I think Banny. Banny has the best movement. The fact that he can take beam and dodge damage on scout and just make so much space is insane. And it definitely
Yeah,
draws eyes for players like Habib, Yomps, all those players to get space. You know, he takes a couple more bullets, not too much damage. And I think movement is one of those most underrated things, you know. Sandblast, if you had that god movement, I could see you going to that next level, getting up there.
I have to lower my sense,
I've seen a
man.
couple clips.
I
I've seen a
can't,
couple
man.
clips.
I can't. My sense is too low. I can't play on 9 inches like all you crackheads, man. I can't do it. I gotta be on 14. It's
That's
so
why you gotta be a
smooth.
Kovac crack kid. We're
No, I
talking about
can't.
it. But
No.
yeah. So I think that's it. We're gonna wrap it up here. And like we said, join the Discord if you want to give feedback. I'm gonna open up a channel. Anything that could make this better. Anything we could do to make cast better, this better, any other content you have ideas for, and as well, questions channel. We're always going to read them at the end of this, maybe more or less. And we're going to try and cast two of those 3 matches we were mainly talking about in Shie versus Team Avatar versus Mal, and lastly, we're 100% doing this no matter what, Froyo versus Ascent.
Yeah.
And most likely it's Thursday, but we'll keep you posted. Nothing's announced completely yet, so just keep your eye out for it.
Yep. So you're gonna see me and Marmaloo probably casting that match of the week almost every week, hopefully, if we can get things arranged with Dolphin and RGL. But other than that, guys, there's not really much to talk about. Please, if you guys, like Marmaloo said, join our Discord, give us feedback, let us know what we can do to improve. Come in, ask us questions. We're gonna try and answer as many as we can, but obviously we're trying to keep this anywhere between around an hour and 10 minutes. So we're trying not to answer all the questions. But if you did ask questions in week 1, there is still a chance we could answer them in week 2. But again, check out all the stuff we were talking about before. Check out newbie mixes. Check out this season. We can't wait. But other than that, after these 2 matches happen this season, we can't wait to go over the results and give out updated predictions for next week, man. Really excited.
Yeah, last thing, shout outs to Dolphin. We came up with this, I think, on Friday when I dropped my video. Or sorry about that, but yeah. So shouts to Dolphin. He made this all in like 2 or 3 days.
He's crazy.
It looks great. It looks phenomenal. So get a little pog champ for Dolphin.
One pog. Fill it with pog champs real quick, man.
Yeah, but I think that is everything. So
yeah, I mean, other than that, thank you all for watching. I didn't think we'd get this much traction. We had a little over like 150 viewers pretty much the entire stream, which is awesome. I'm really happy you guys enjoy content like this. We're going to continue to create content like this throughout the season. So please, guys, show up. We can't wait. Other than that, I got nothing, Marm.
Yep, that's it. Try to get my dog in for the last shot, but that's all. But yeah, thanks for coming. We'll be by next time. Same time next week.
Same time, 6 o'clock Sunday EST. See you guys there.
On the dot. All right, thanks for watching.